What's up guys, and welcome to the channel. My name's Micah, and today we're taking our 2024 ZX-6R out for some 0 to 60 runs. So I've seen some stuff online pretty much by all your major motorcycle publications, magazines, YouTube channels, and everybody's reporting a 0 to 60 time of about 3.2 to 3.6 seconds on this bike. But were those times recorded by an expert rider? Was it by your average Joe? What were conditions like that day? What does that rider weigh? And those are questions I just don't have the answers to. So we're gonna take our bike out and we're gonna do 5 or 6 different 0 to 60 runs, and we're gonna see just how fast we are on our motorcycle. Now the 0 to 60 time is an interesting thing, right? You can only launch so hard, you can only accelerate so fast before your front end is in the air, you know, on these sport bikes. So it takes some precision, it takes some finesse of the throttle and the clutch to really be a good 0 to 60 time rider. And the reason I'm so curious about our 0 to 60 time is because as I've owned this motorcycle for 5 months now roughly, in all of our riding around town, I have not found one person who can beat me off the line. So maybe everybody that we raced was a total noob, or maybe we're just that fast on our 2024 ZX-6. I don't know, but we're gonna find out right now. So the way that we're gonna time ourselves and get our 0 to 60 times is I'm gonna film this footage as we go out and make a bunch of runs. We'll see how fast we are. I'm gonna take that footage and put it on my computer so that I can start the timer on the very frame, the very millisecond that my tire starts moving to the point exactly where we hit that 60 miles per hour. And I will put it up on the screen here as we make each run. So you guys will know how fast we're running 0 to 60. I will not know until after the fact. So I'll just kind of have to guess and gauge where we're at. So if our 0 to 60 times are at or above that 3.2 to 3.3 second mark, we'll just know that everybody else we race sucked. But I'll be excited to see if we can hit under that mark and get some faster 0 to 60 times than some of the experts, some of the publications out there. That'll be the sign that I guess we know how to ride this beauty. So I've got our Kawasaki shirt. That should make us a little bit faster. Let's gear up and go hit the streets. All right, getting to our first 0 to 60 launch spot. And don't worry, we are in Mexico. All of the speed limits here are over 60 miles per hour.
Bruh.
Alright, so we do not have wheelie control, launch control. I've turned traction control off, and we are not using our Kawasaki quick shifter. This is our first run. Let's see if we're a 3.2 rider. That felt pretty good. I was able to keep the front on the ground the whole time, but I feel like I could launch that just a little bit harder until I feel that front end just hovering off the ground. I know I can go faster. That felt pretty good. I'm really jealous that you guys get to see these 0 to 60 times live and I have to wait. Yeah, we'll run one right here. Okay, bring our RPMs up a little bit higher here. Run number 2. I definitely had that front end come up a little bit. I tried to just ease the throttle, bring it back down. All right, launch number 3. I wonder what we're hitting. Alright, let's try it again. A little less throttle than we did last time, but aim for having that front end hovering. Gosh, that is so fast. I feel like we're just getting excellent times on that, but it's hard to tell. Even if we were running 0 to 60 in 3.2 or 3.3, that is still blistering fast. But I just want to get it a little bit faster than that. Alright, here we go. This one feels good.
on. Let's see what we can't do. Oh man, that front end was just kind of rising up on us. This is a really nice flat stretch kind of in the middle of nowhere. I'm gonna turn around here and then do our final pull for all the frickin' marbles, kids. Alright, I'm really gonna send it here. Front end might get a little lofty. Yeah, I decided to take it to 100 there. And you know what? Just so we have two of those poles left for reference. I brought that one up. I was kind of shifting around 15,000, I feel like, somewhere around there on that last 0 to 100 pole. But might shift just a touch lower. I feel like I felt the power kind of die off. So 0 to 100, pull number 2, no quick shifter, no traction control. Oh man, that was so fast. That felt really good. And shifting at about 14.5 because our bike has a Moore Mafia flash on it, so our red line is 15,800 now, I believe, versus from the factory I think it was 14.5. Woo! Oh man, that was fun. I cannot wait to get back home and see what those times look like. Well, I'm just kind of curious too how stoppies feel on this thing. I guess I've never really tried one of those. Oh, back end was probably 2 feet off the ground or so. Well, I suppose maybe we should finish out our ride here with a nice 3rd gear staggered wheelie. Oh yeah, baby. That's the one. Of course, you would pull a right in front of us person. Gosh, I just love this motorcycle.
Well, and now I'm seeing all the numbers for the first time, even though you guys already have. But we had some great pulls on our 24 ZX-6. So now how I got to those numbers, especially with having a digital speedometer, you know, sometimes as we're accelerating really hard, you'll see the speedometer go like 43, 48, 55, 64, and so you're probably wondering, how did I exactly know when I got to the 60 mile per hour mark? So what I would do is clip the video right when our tires started moving, and then as we were getting up there in speed, you know, one of the clips, you know, the speedometer showed 55, and then the next time it registered was 63 miles per hour. So what I would do is in the video, right when it showed 55, I would clip that mark, and right when it turned over to 63 miles per hour on our speedo, I would clip that mark as well. I would count the number of frames in there and then just do some quick math to figure out where approximately I think we hit 60. And pretty much like clockwork, so if on our speedometer, you know, it showed 55 and then the next speed we saw was 63, pretty much like clockwork on all of our runs, you know, that's a gap of 8 miles per hour, and there would be 8 frames in that amount of time in our video. So then in the video, I'd stop it right when our speedometer clicked over to 63 miles per hour. I would go back 3 frames, and then that's where I chop our video. And then I would just take that whole video right from when our tires started moving to the spot, to the frame that I estimate we hit 60 at, and then I would just look at the overall length of that clip. So that's how we came to all of our numbers. You know, it's the closest guesstimate that I can give you guys of our actual time, since we weren't at a drag strip with a radar gun on us. So they should all be within a couple hundredths of a second of what we were actually running. You know, we could have been running faster, we could have been a couple hundredths slower. But in looking at our times here, you know, our first run we did 3.01 seconds. So right off the bat we hit about 3 seconds flat. You know, I did not warm up, I did not practice before we went out. You know, you saw all the raw runs start to finish. And then the second run was 2.94, third run was 2.99. So those first 3 runs, you know, were about at the 3 seconds flat. You know, that's when I was just kind of feeling out the bike. You know, it's still a great 0 to 60 time. But after that, after I kind of got to feel, you know, where that throttle liked to be, you know, to keep my front end just in the spot that I wanted it, you know, kind of feeling out that clutch as well, then that's when we were able to get our last 3 runs 0 to 60 a little bit better. So then run number 4 was 2.85 seconds, run number 5 was 2.89 seconds, and then run number 6 was 2.91 seconds. So you have no idea how ecstatic I was to see that 2.85 seconds. I was like, oh man, that is good. And then we had our 2 pulls 0 to 100 miles per hour at the very end. You know, the first one was that 5.93 seconds. That's when I was just taking my RPMs a little bit higher than I probably needed to. You know, with us having that Moore Mafia flash on our bike, our red line is 15,800, which in playing back the footage, I absolutely saw my TAC reading 16,000. But that was just too high, you know. I was able to feel that power kind of drop off. We were just tucked in, we were hammering on, and then I just towards the top end of that, about upwards of that 15.5, I'll say, you really felt it drop off. So there's really no need to bring your bike or rev it out that high. So that's how the second time we did that, you know, I tried to keep all my shifts around that 14.5, maybe 15,000 max. And so we were able to shave 2 more tenths of a second off of our 0 to 100 time and hit that 5.73 seconds. You know, we're definitely fast on this thing. I didn't quite know how fast we were. Like I said, nobody in town here was able to beat us off the line, even plenty of leader bikes. So I knew we were running good times. I didn't know that we were running that good, like that 2.85 seconds 0 to 60. And our bike is tuned, like I said. We have a slip-on exhaust, but none of that really helps you 0 to 60. You know, I think I could absolutely run these same times on a totally stock ZX-6 right as it rolled out of the factory. You know, you're just limited. You can only lay on that throttle so much. You can only launch so hard before your front end is in the air. You know, we're not stretched. This is a factory wheelbase, factory swing arm ZX-6R. Now, I am kind of a more slender built gentleman myself. This morning when I weighed myself, I was 154 pounds. But that's because I go for tone, not for bulk, which, and I guess that pays off because it makes us really freaking fast on our motorcycle. And I have the factory gearing on our motorcycle. I have the factory chain and sprockets that our bike came with. And my tires, I run at the factory spec for air pressure. So 42 pounds in the rear, 36 pounds in the front. And I am not some professional motorcycle driver. You know, I've never taken a vehicle to the drag strip. I have never done any racing on a track or anything like that. I'm just a normal guy who rides a lot, who loves motorcycles more than life itself. But yeah, the 2024 Kawasaki ZX-6R Ninja is a force to be reckoned with. Man, with a little bit of practice, you can really be fast on this thing. And I think that'll about wrap it up for us today, guys. So, like the video if this helped you out, subscribe if you guys want to see more, and until next time, have a wonderful night, guys.